With racing simulators, there's no bigger name in the world than iRacing. However, it's not just true simulation games that the company is responsible for anymore. They're working on dirt racing, arcade titles, an official NASCAR game, and a sci-fi themed rally-like racing title known as ExoCross. Developed by Orontes Games, who iRacing acquired in 2021, ExoCross is built on a completely custom engine that Orontes has mastered over the years. Mixed with things like AI and tire models from iRacing, and ExoCross is a full package racer that you may not expect when looking at it from the outside. The game offers you a number of modes, including championship, time trials, quick races, and more. The championship mode can be viewed as the game's story, as it opens by explaining to you the premise of why you are racing on a different planet than Earth. For the record, the game takes place 100 years into the future, where all forms of fossil fuels and vehicles have been banned on Earth. In the game, there are 3 vehicles to choose from, each having their own pros and cons associated with their difficulty levels. For example, the Vulcan is easier to drive with its lower peak power and heavier weight, while the lighter weight Titan can be tougher to keep stable due to its power, top speed, and the way it can slide on the track. Each car takes some time to get the hang of, but never feels too difficult, even with the assist completely turned off. As you race, you'll have access to boost that replenishes while you drive. If you happen to be in the draft of an opponent, you'll see your boost meter increase quicker than if you're by yourself. It adds strategy to how you drive, especially if you have someone behind you. Breaking their draft is key to keeping them off your back and you out in front. There's also damage you need to be aware of, because despite being giant metal cars that you're controlling from a distance, they can still break and break down. Drive too recklessly and you'll quickly find yourself either off the track or without a tire. Now, going back to the AI, the battles you have, especially when you move to the higher difficulties, is as much fun in a racing game as you'll get. Being side to side and bumping wheels while trying not to lose control is some of the most satisfying racing I've had in some time. From a simulation versus arcade standpoint, ExoCross is a nice mix of both. Things such as surface transitions, like going from asphalt to dirt and back again, feel natural and require you to have that extra level of control to avoid a spin-out. Hitting your drifts on turns is both challenging yet satisfying, that'll have you looking for more reasons to utilize your handbrake than not. As far as how you drive, ExoCross was designed to be played with both controller and wheel. Now, controller was the primary focus when developing, and it feels as smooth as you'd hope with a game like this, and using a wheel, there are some tweaks that need to be done to get it just right. So I'll reserve an official opinion on how the wheel racing feels until after the game's launch. Visually, it's stunning. From the vehicles to the tracks to the overall atmosphere, ExoCross looks phenomenal. There's just something about racing with Saturn in the backdrop that feels breathtaking. It can also be distracting the first time around because you just want to soak it all in. It's where having a replay suite would really come in handy. As a whole, ExoCross is a fun racing game on a really solid engine. The cars feel great while giving you enough of a quick to learn yet hard to master feel. The championship mode, as well as other offline options, give you a nice entry point into the game's tracks and vehicles, and allow you to really learn the ins and outs before taking to online racing. There's such a fun game here that it feels like the foundation for something bigger in the future. Where my concern sits with ExoCross is mainly in the replay factor. It's going to heavily rely on online multiplayer, however there's no cross-platform play. There's cross-generation between Xbox and PlayStation consoles, but they can't play with each other. And if you're on PC, well, you only have the PC player base to compete against. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see what the reception to the game is and how many people pick it up before making a judgment on that front. ExoCross officially launches on July 23rd for PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. Stay tuned for our full scored review of the game that comes shortly after the game's release, once multiplayer can be properly tested and the game's full release with various bug fixes becomes available. For more previews, reviews, interviews, and more, be sure to subscribe to Insider Gaming and visit our website, insider-gaming.com.